At this point, just let the spiders get me. It doesn't matter.
Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
I wish you could see me right now. I'm so snuggly. This is I don't typically get in cozy clothes very much. I don't care for it.
What's so cozy?
All right, so I've got my long johns because it's cold down here. It's cold in the basement, everybody. I got a t-shirt. I got a hoodie that I'm surprised I can still fit in, which is great. That's great news. And I've got Jen's borrowed slippers because I don't have any.
Why didn't you just wear your shoes or some socks? Why did you have to borrow your wife's slippers? What's happening to her feet?
She's fine. She's upstairs. She's got a blanket. She's not moving or doing anything, so she's good.
She can't now because you took her slippers away.
To be fair, she offered. So, yeah. But you know what's funny?
Do they fit you?
Yeah, I mean they're oversized slippers. I mean slippers aren't fitted to feet typically.
Are they not? I'm not a slipper person.
You don't have a pair of slippers either, huh?
No. I don't. At one point, I thought, hey, here's a sale on house shoes. I'm going to get some house shoes. And I got some, and they didn't fit me, and then I never got more, and I never wore them, and that was the end of that experience.
I think we're kind of similar in this way. Like, I don't like having clothes around that I don't wear. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just can't see a situation where I am in my house and I'm thinking, I really need something on my feet.
Yeah.
I have socks right now. That's the most I need.
I don't know. I'm still, even though we haven't had a spider problem down here for a while, I'm still a little nervous about spiders down here, so I like to have something solid on my feet. I guess that's part of it too.
So it's spider paranoia?
It's a little bit of spider paranoia, yeah. I think so.
That makes sense. At this point, just let the spiders get me. It doesn't matter.
Take me. Have you ever seen Arachnophobia? You ever seen that movie?
A long time ago.
Yeah, me too. It's been a way long time since I've seen it.
I remember, I feel like I was in junior high when I watched it. So, a long time ago. Long time ago.
Yeah.
And I mostly remember thinking, I thought this was going to be funnier than it is.
Well, it has Jeff Daniels in it, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah.
He's typically more of a comedy actor,
Yeah, it just, for some reason, I was thinking very funny, and it was funny.
Yeah. I remember, maybe I saw it even younger than junior high. I remember being terrified by it, so that, but then again, it's me, and I get terrified.
That's true.
About things.
Well, as we've established, you can't separate
reality.
Movies and reality.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot better at that, I gotta say. Something happened in 2020. Maybe reality finally overtook movie.
You were stuck at home and watched so many movies that you finally went, these can't all be real.
We've talked about how I went on a horror binge, right? I mean, I watched a lot of horror movies this year.
Yeah, I mean, the only movies that are real are documentaries like Friday the 13th and things like that.
Contagion.
So, yeah. That one's too accurate now.
Two on the nose. Two on the nose.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The Andromeda Strain is a great one, actually. I remember watching that a few years ago. And I have
no idea what that is.
It's like an early Michael Crichton adaptation. I think it came out. I don't know when it came out actually. Pre-90s, definitely. I don't remember if it was 80s or late 70s though. But it's the basic premise of like these scientists are working in a like secret lab somewhere, and they've created some kind of monster virus that gets out and slowly kills them all. So there you go.
Yeah, sounds cheery.
It's real good though. It is.
It's
real
what
good.
if you want to escape the world that we're living in. That sounds like an excellent movie to not make you think about anything that's currently happening.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. I did hear that there was a spike in films like that, like early on in the pandemic.
I'm sure
people were wanting to watch stuff like that, which I don't know that I understand either.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, you would think that the spike would be the complete opposite end of it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
everyone is watching the Great British Bake Off or something. That's the complete opposite side of things. But
right.
Whatever. No one asked me. I mean, if they want to live in a constant state of terror, that's their business.
Were there any themes for you last year in terms of your media consumption? Or was
all of it?
Well, right.
We can't go anywhere. All of the media.
So you watched everything you possibly could.
Yeah. We got to a point where, because all the TV shows had shut down production, right?
Right. Yeah.
We were thinking, oh crap! Like, there's not going to be anything else to watch next year. Like, we are going to be out of things to watch.
Right, yeah.
We've burned through Netflix. Just all of it. Everything on Netflix. We've watched it. All the French films, watch those? No, we didn't.
No, you didn't.
I'm not going to read subtitles.
No.
Come on. Well, I have to do other things while I watch TV.
Yeah.
I can't just sit there and watch TV. So I can't watch anything with subtitles because it requires my attention. Come on.
Well, sure, yeah.
I have to read and watch. I can't do that. When am I going to refresh CNN to see what the new numbers are? Oh, they're bad. Okay.
Okay, right, yeah. When are you gonna? Doom scrolling is a term that I learned in 2020.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Doom scrolling. So you're just, I guess that's the act of looking through social media for everything being horrible.
Yeah, well, I get that, because 2020, like, if you went through Twitter,
yeah.
It was, oh man, how many people have COVID? Oh man, what did Donald Trump do? Oh man, what did Donald Trump do with COVID? Oh no. Just everything was bad. And then even like the comedians, if you follow them on Twitter, all of them are like, things are bad right now.
No jokes. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we have a new president and the inauguration went fine and everything. Like the weight of last year just kind of. I mean, I was worried definitely, but I did a lot of like just coping. But it just kind of all hit me a couple days ago. It was like, oh yeah, like I honestly could. If you had asked me before it all hit me, like, what did I do last year? I don't think I could tell you a whole lot. And now suddenly I can. Like, all my memories started coming back of, like, how I spent my time. Did you have 2020 PTSD? I think I might have. I mean, I think I don't know. I think I just, like, went somewhere for a while. And then now I came back. And
well, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. What a long, strange trip it's been.
Yeah. It's it hasn't been bad so far this year, right?
Oh, no, it's been fucking peaches and ice cream.
Right?
Yeah.
It could be worse. It could be worse. Just always remember there's no nuclear holocaust yet. It could be worse.
Well, to look on the bright side, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the eternal optimist. Every day I wake up and go, no nuclear holocaust yet? Things are looking up. All right.
All right. You do look forward to the simple things, with that in mind. If you think, well, I didn't burn to death in a fiery blaze last night. So, wow, this coffee is really something. Check me out.
There you go.
I'm going to have toast today.
Maybe that's the key to happiness. So everyone always talks about, like, focusing on the little things.
Yeah.
Don't focus on the little things. Focus on the gigantic things that could happen that haven't happened yet.
That's a certain way to live, I think. Yeah, I think so.
I think I could write a full philosophy book about this.
Booyah.
Oh, man, that's a New York Times bestseller. People would be lined up around the block to... No one lines up for books.
You could call
People would be lined up around the block to pretend they read that book.
That's
and
right.
talk about it.
That's right. And form book clubs.
Yeah.
You could call it, I don't have cancer, ... yet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think it's got legs, man.
Yeah. As long as you don't spend too much time thinking about it. You just have to think about all the bad things, then immediately move on.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if you think about the bad things for 3 minutes,
yeah,
then you're probably in trouble. But 30 seconds a bad thing and you're out. Life seems great.
You could have a checklist. You could like put it beside your mirror when you wake up. And you're having a drink of water in the morning or whatever.
Have your morning mantra.
Yeah, not dead via XYZ. Boom.
I didn't die. I haven't been canceled. All those things.
Well, we do all run the risk of being canceled seemingly at the drop of a hat these days.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's lost its power.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because too many people get canceled all the time.
Okay.
And then don't actually go away.
Right,
and
that's
so
true.
It's just kind of like, I mean, they got air quotes canceled for a day and a half.
Right. It's kind of like you get canceled for a while and you just go to like purgatory, like social media purgatory.
Yeah.
And then you get let back out after 6 months or whatever.
Whenever they move on to the next person who has done something bad.
It's a purgatory that can only hold one person.
Right.
So
well, this is something I definitely learned last year, and like I knew it beforehand.
Yeah.
But the attention span of people.
Oh, yeah.
Is 2 days max.
Oh, it's horrendously bad. Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No one has it. People, it really changed, I think, too. In the last, 10 years or something. Like,
yeah.
People were worried about TV when we were kids, like shortening our attention spans, and video games shortening our attention spans. But I feel like that doesn't hold a candle to YouTube, or Instagram.
You know what's dumb about that whole thing? The idea that video games shorten attention span.
Yeah, right?
People play these video games. Like, think about people who play Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They are playing the same video game
yeah.
for hours.
Hours.
And at least 60% of that video game is just walking.
That's right. That's right. No, and
it's just walking to other places.
Yeah, and you, in those games, too, like, you can count up your time. Like, you'll know when you finish it what your total time, how many, well, it's usually hundreds of hours, right? Like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. I mean, come on, that's a level of focus. Yeah. I mean, imagine reading that much. I don't think anyone reads that much.
Not in one shot.
No, definitely not.
You'd go blind if you sat there and read nonstop the way the Call of Duty people Call of Duty.
You would. I think it was Milton, maybe. Milton wrote not Paradise. Yeah, Paradise Lost, right? Milton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Milton wrote that, and I think when he was a kid, after he learned to read, he read so much that he like basically blinded himself.
Yeah.
And I think he had to dictate Paradise Lost, if I remember correctly.
Life would have been a lot easier for him if he just had a PlayStation.
That's right. He could have. He would have been fine.
Yeah. He would have been able to write that whole book himself in between marathon Fortnite games.
There you go. I don't even. Yeah.
I don't know how long Fortnite takes.
I don't even know what Fortnite really is, to be honest.
It's another one of those games with guns. Another gun game.
I know they sell Nerf guns that are Fortnite themed. I found that out.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, well, because I ordered something from eBay, and the box that came in was a Nerf box, Nerf Fortnite box, and it caused a lot of confusion in the child, because the child thought that she had gotten a Nerf gun.
Oh, no.
And definitely not. Like,
No.
It was just the box that Daddy's washboard came in.
Well, it was that big of a box?
It was a pretty big box, yeah.
How big is this Nerf gun?
It's sizable. It was like a shotgun-style Nerf gun. Which I had a ton of Nerf stuff when I was a kid. I don't know if you did, but... I
had a couple, and I always was really excited.
Yeah.
In the first, half hour of having them.
Right.
And then just never played with them again.
Yeah. They weren't fun unless you had someone else to shoot them at, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
And I didn't. It was always just like, I'm going to shoot at the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
At some point I graduated up to this blowgun thing, and that had darts. It was like this is when I'm a teenager, right? Like, remember everyone, I grew up redneck, so of course I had a BB gun. We had this, it wasn't a pellet gun, but it was a pistol that you could shoot darts with, like little darts with little feathers on the end at a dartboard. It was a weird it was really fun. But it was this weird hybrid thing. I think it had CO2 cartridges in it that propelled the darts.
South is a different place.
Right? Right? And then I had two of these things. I had these think about you're in a jungle movie, a racist jungle movie, and everyone who's a native has a blowgun, and
right.
I had one of these, but it was constructed out of aluminum, and it had these long, we're talking 3-inch long darts that were really sharp on the end, and so I used to shoot them into the wall. That was a bad idea. That got me in trouble later on. And then we had a sleepover one time, me and 3 of my friends. And, of course, whoever passes out first, you do bad things to, right? That's a rule.
Well, naturally.
What?
Naturally, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, what else would you do?
Exactly.
You can't let someone sleep.
Yeah. So my friend Chris at the time passed out, and we started using the blow darts into his ass. And he must have, I think he liked the abuse a little bit, because the first one must have woken him up, but we did it to him for a while. And he didn't start complaining until maybe the 20th dart or something.
Did they actually stick?
Yeah, they did. I mean, a little bit, enough to, it would have broke the skin. It didn't go in deep or anything, but he would have.
Oh, man.
He must have felt it.
That would have been an interesting one to have to explain to someone if he had to go to the hospital for some reason.
Oh, my dumbass friends were shooting darts in my ass.
It seems you have a number of puncture wounds. Each cheek.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, the guns... So I don't have I do have an issue with miniguns, but the idea of owning a gun doesn't really offend me. I just have no interest. Yeah. I've never been into toy guns. As a kid, I never was. And as an adult, I'm like, it seems like a whole thing. I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
It is a whole thing, I think. You know, there's a lot to it.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, more power to you if you want to own a gun. You can have mine. Whatever. And also lock them away and don't let anyone near them.
Right. Like, again, growing up in the South, of course, I shot guns to a certain extent. You know, I've shot rifles and stuff here and there. We weren't a big gun family either. I mean, my dad had like a couple of guns that were like hunting rifles, and we had like a shotgun that was like an old family heirloom kind of thing, like a double barrel shotgun. But I don't know. We didn't get them out that much. You know, we weren't like big hunters or anything. Other people in my family were, but my dad wasn't. We did go hunting like a couple of times, but he wasn't big into it.
Yeah, and this is the difference. In my family, there was one gun in our house, and it was my grandpa's antique hunting rifle that my dad inherited, that no one even knows if it actually works.
Right? Yeah.
Like, it might. So we're gonna lock it away just in case, but we don't really know.
Yeah. And you'd like, I mean, you wouldn't have ammo for it anyway, probably, right? Like, yeah.
It's one of those family heirlooms that, like, someday is going to become my family heirloom, most likely.
Right.
And I'm going to get it and go, what do I do with this? I don't...
Yeah.
All right, I guess this is the thing I have now.
That's right. That's it. You hang it... Yeah.
I have no emotional attachment to this thing that was always locked away in the attic. I don't... Whatever.
You could hang it above a door frame. That's a common practice.
Well, if I start decorating that way, though, I'm going to have to find animal heads, too.
Yeah, you should.
Just a variety of animal heads.
Yeah.
But I would do it a little bit differently than most people. Instead of just, like, big heads,
yeah,
I would want, like, levels, like, just increasing all the way down the wall. So, like, it ends at, like, a buck, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
But it begins at, like, a chipmunk.
A mouse.
Yeah. Just some sort of rodent head mounted on a large plaque, and then it just gets bigger and bigger.
It's a worm on a hook. You got a slide with a dead bacterium on it.
There we go.
There you go. All the way.
There'd have to be a plaque with a butterfly, so it looks like I hunted a butterfly.
There you go. I think, have you ever seen the Tremors movies? Mm-hmm. Those are fun. It must be the second one where, you know, one of the characters is like a big hunter dude, and he's got like a head from one of the sandworms, you know?
Yeah.
Mounted, and I love that scene because it does sort of the same thing. It pans from like a beaver or something all the way up to this horrific sandworm.
Oh, that is a movie franchise.
Yeah.
Not to get off topics of guns here, but
sure,
that they ran into the ground.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of those movies. I think there's like 5.
1,000 of them.
Yeah, yeah. And I've seen most of them. There's one where they're like in the Arctic. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's...
Wait, did the worms get to the Arctic?
I think so, somehow or another. Yeah, I think so.
Did they travel? Like, did they go through the core of the Earth to get there, or
I believe so. Yeah,
they book a cruise and just stop there? What happened?
they hopped on a Caribbean cruise liner. They got down in the hull. They booked a ticket on that flat Earth cruise and jumped off at the edge.
They're the only ones who know the truth.
That's right.
It is flat, and that's the very edge where they stopped.
That's correct. That's right. That's right.
So I don't know if you heard all these stories in 2020, way back then.
Probably not.
When COVID was starting, about the idiot college kids who were like, well, cruises are cheap now, and started buying tickets for cruises before everything shut down.
Wow.
Those are the people with the short attention spans I'm referring to.
Most definitely.
They can't even focus on the news long enough to go, oh, that's a bad idea.
We had a great time.
I lost a lot of weight because I was too tired to get up and go get food. What with the COVID I got, and oh man,
and the shit weren't there towards the beginning. Weren't there people on cruises? Because it spread like wild on some of those cruise liners, and they couldn't like come to port for a while.
Yeah, there
right?
was one. I think I can't remember. I think it was New York. After New York had shut everything down, the cruise ship came and they were like, "Yeah, you can't dock."
Yeah, sorry.
You guys are stuck out there, and I think it was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh God, that sounds horrible.
But going back to my positivity here.
Yeah, right.
You bought a ticket for a cruise, probably a 3-day cruise, 5-day. I don't know how long they last.
I don't either.
You got like almost a full month out of that cruise.
Super bonus.
That is a bargain.
You really did. It'll never happen again.
No, no one will ever, hopefully, get to be on a ship for that long ever again, and unless it's like military. They can be on a ship that long.
Oh yeah, they do that. They live there.
Yeah.
That's
got to be miserable.
It would have to be really tough. I don't know. I don't know that I've got it in me to be a seafaring bloke. Have you heard about this phenomenon? I'm not on TikTok, but there's this apparently on TikTok, sea shanties have become a thing recently.
Why?
And so I have no fucking idea, but apparently it's become popular for everyone to come up with their own sea shanty and put it up on TikTok. I don't know what's going on in this world.
The short attention span people have their 10-second sea shanties.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you remember this, but back in the 90s on MTV there was short attention span theater.
Oh, that rings a bell.
I think Jon Stewart hosted it.
Okay.
Before The Daily Show. TikTok is short attention span theater.
That absolutely 1,000,000%. Again, the MTV generation could sit through a music video.
Yeah, we could make it all the way through. Just hoping that the next one wasn't in sync. We could make it.
Right? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive by today's standards, where people can't... I know people who will pull up a YouTube video and they'll just scan until they get to the part that they really want to hear. They don't want the preamble at all. This could be a 5-minute video. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's 5 minutes. Just watch the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
But no.
Think about Hulu or any of the ad-supported streaming things.
Yeah,
where they have the option to pay for no ads.
Yes.
Is not watching an ad really worth $5 a month? Are you saving that much time?
Well, is it about time or is it about the annoyance? Because
is it that annoying?
There are certain... Now, I don't do that, but I could see... there are certain things when you're watching you don't want to be interrupted. But, if you're in the middle of a dramatic scene or something, or
but
a really cool part,
But if you're watching a TV show on there...
Well, a TV show. Yeah, that's true.
They kind of have ad breaks built in.
They do.
So they can, make money. That's how they
I see
do
your
it.
point. Yeah. I'm more talking about movies, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. Although I don't know that I've ever watched a movie on Hulu.
They have some.
But the TV shows, like NBC's new thing, Peacock. It's all.
Oh, I haven't.
It's
I haven't seen
NBC
that at all.
shows.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's their streaming thing.
You can pay for no ads on it.
Okay.
Why? Just why? Just watch the ad. Just stop paying attention for 30 seconds and then come back and it will be over. It's not that bad.
That is true.
It gives you time to get up and go pee. To figure out what that loud bang from your child's room was. Spoiler alert, he got on something and then fell off of it.
That's what happened. Yep. Happens a lot.
It's in my house, it's usually I got the Legos out. So you go in there, he has gotten the Legos out. And by doing that, what he has done is flipped the lid off, which bangs into something, then dumped them all. That's the bangs. So
yeah,
that
I feel your pain.
If I'm watching something and there's an ad, I can go see, yeah, that's just a mess he's going to not want to clean up in 2 hours, and we'll move on.
The sound of Legos pouring onto the floor. I think I have, speaking of PTSD, I think I have PTSD around that sound.
Have you had because you have a lot more Legos in your house.
Fucking tons of them, yeah.
We're still mostly at the Duplo stage.
Yeah, sure.
Have you had the phenomenon of always stepping on them somehow, even though you didn't know there were any on the floor?
Oh, I've stepped on a lot of them, yeah. You know, I think today's Legos are slightly better. There aren't as many bricks with the sharp edges.
Oh, then they've ruined it.
No, I mean, they're there, but I don't know. We have a lot of other kinds of Legos that could be on the floor.
But it's no fun if there's not a chance of bodily harm.
I agree. No, I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah.
These kids these days are so soft. They won't shoot blow darts into each other's asses.
No one's got out their dart gun in years. What is going on? That thing was fucking fun, though. I loved that thing. We had it in the garage. And it didn't shoot straight at all. Like, the little darts would all go wonky. But it was really fun to, like, shoot this pistol thing with darts in it.
See, you need to find something like that so that when a Mad Max dystopian future comes down, you can be the guy with the blow dart gun.
Oh, I'd be the blow dart guy. I like this.
Yeah. Like, you know how in those movies, yeah, there are guns, whatever, but there's always someone who has a weapon that you're like, that's not really a good weapon in this scenario.
Yeah.
You'd be that guy.
Oh, good. I'll definitely survive then.
It's those movies, there's always like a gang of people. Some of them have guns, whatever, but then there's a guy who has like a beat-up baseball bat.
Oh, yeah. Right. With a nail in
What's the plan?
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't think this one through.
You better be really good with that baseball bat, because, dude.
Deflecting bullets with it as you go up there to club people.
You probably didn't see this movie, but the Birds of Prey movie that came out last year, the, like, Harley Quinn.
No, I didn't see it, but I remember when it came out.
Okay, so she uses a baseball bat, right, a lot, but there's this scene where she's, like, fighting a bunch of dudes, a la John Wick, which are amazing movies, by the way. I love the John Wick movies. So she's fighting all these dudes and hitting them with just random shit that's around, and she happens upon a giant pile of cocaine. And
As you do.
she snorts up a load of cocaine, and then like suddenly she has superpowers. It was awesome. She just like she's doing okay, and then she finds the coke, and then she kicks everyone's ass.
It would be an even better scene if they show her fighting all this and then zoom out and just show what's really happening.
Right.
And she's swinging a bat at nothing. She's like in a coat closet hitting coats.
I like that. That's good.
She has no idea what's happening.
She's totally fucked up. Yeah. I gotta watch that one again. I initially didn't like it at all, but then I've heard people say nice things about it. I'm like, well, maybe I went into this thing wrong. I don't know. Maybe
I will tell you, I had no interest in seeing the movie.
Yeah.
However, the full title of the movie,
yes,
is one of the best full titles of a movie in cinema history.
I agree. What is it? The emancipation of
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of the Harley Quinn of one Harley Quinn.
One Harley Quinn. Yeah, it's really good.
A very good title.
I mean,
I almost watched it just because I like the title.
That title is the tone of the movie all the way. Like, that's the absolute tone the whole time. So if you
ridiculous,
so if you like that, you'll probably like the movie.
I'm probably not gonna watch it.
I didn't think you would, but just FYI. Did you see? Gosh, I know. Did you see any? I don't know why we're talking movies, but here we are. I watched The Irishman finally. Did you see that? That's Scorsese deal.
I have a 4-year-old.
So no.
There's no time for Scorsese 9-hour movies.
Oh, it was pretty long. Yeah, it was pretty long.
Scorsese needs to come up with a you have a 4-year-old edit of every movie where he edits it down to the length of time it takes for me to stay awake on the couch, like that length of time.
Yeah,
hour and a half max. Every one of his movies feels like they're 30 hours long.
Well, it's true. It's true. That one is really good, I will say. It's if you ever get the chance, it's good. Still on Netflix, I think, as well.
It won awards. But,
yeah, it did. Yeah.
But also, Scorsese's in that area where his movies winning awards mean nothing anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Like he wins an award. It's him, Susan Sarandon, and the Coen brothers.
Yep.
They're going to win an award. It doesn't matter if it's good. They're going to win the award.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. No, it's just a thing that happens. Like that's what happens. Yeah.
If the Coen brothers have a movie coming out, it could be the worst movie ever. The Coen brothers could do a shot-for-shot remake of the first Ninja Turtles movie.
I knew that's what you're... How did I know that's what you were going to say?
I have no idea.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
They could do a shot-for-shot remake of that. They'd get a Best Picture nomination. I guarantee it.
Yeah. And look, I'm going to defend the first Ninja Turtles movie. I think that's a pretty good movie, actually.
It's a good movie, but it's not an Academy Award-winning movie.
Well, simply because the Coen brothers didn't do it. Come on.
Right. If the Coen brothers did it, or Scorsese.
Oh, of course.
If he did it, everyone would be applauding the dark tone of the movie.
Right.
They would say it's such a fresh take on sewer turtles. and the critics would love it.
So you got to imagine, I guess, Pacino or De Niro plays Raphael, because he's the angry one.
Yeah.
Who plays Michael? Maybe like Leonardo DiCaprio plays Michelangelo.
Which I know that seems counterintuitive here.
Yeah.
Putting Leonardo DiCaprio as Michelangelo and then casting a different Leonardo. But he'd be Michelangelo.
He'd be a better Michelangelo, I think, than a Leonardo.
Yeah.
And then in the in the role of Splinter is Samuel L. Jackson, of course.
Now I actually want to see this movie.
Right? Like, sounds pretty great, actually.
Put Samuel L. Jackson in there. Make it a hard R.
Yes. Oh, God, yeah. That sounds awesome. I love it. And April O'Neil is played by, I'm going to go Emma Stone. I just think she could pull that off.
Could she?
Yeah, I think she could be April O'Neil. Who else will we pick? Who should we pick?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was racking my brain on it. I mean, I guess Emma Stone would be fine.
She'd work. I could see her.
She'd be okay.
Aubrey Plaza?
As much as I would like that, it wouldn't be a good casting decision.
Yeah.
But I would enjoy it.
She's too weird. She couldn't. I don't think. And she would steal the screen from everybody because she's just so odd.
Yeah, she would somehow have scenes with 4 animatronic turtles. And she'd still be the one everyone goes, that was weird.
Yeah, what the fuck was going on there, Aubrey Plaza? Yeah. She's delightful, though. I'm not taking anything away from her. I think she's great.
No,
but, yeah.
I would watch almost any movie with her in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I say almost because there's always the chance that she's going to throw a curveball and put out some romantic drama or something.
Well, I think that's the last thing that she did. I was talking to my coworker. It's called like Bear Creek, or I don't remember what it's called, but it's sort of is that. It's like a kind of highbrow, arty, romantic drama type situation.
I go back to my almost then.
Yeah.
I have no interest in that.
She did that movie this year.
No good.
How do you feel about Alice in Chains? Sorry to change the subject, but okay, that's what I figured. I had a moment in the last couple of weeks where I was like, fuck. And this has happened to me once, like a year ago, this happened to me. I was like, I don't own any of their CDs at all. And I was like, holy shit, I need some Alice in Chains in my life. Nathan, I bought 4 Alice in Chains CDs.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I know I'm not going to love every song, but some of that shit just hits for me. I don't know what it is. It's like...
Don't you have Spotify?
Yeah, I like CDs, though. I like CDs in the car, because I either listen to music on my phone through streaming, or I listen to it in the car, which is CDs, or occasionally we put on a record at home.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll be honest. Alice in Chains is one of those bands I forget they existed at all.
Yeah.
Until I see their name, and then I go, "Oh right," and then I forget all about them again.
It just reminded me, and I'm the ultimate apologist for 90s rock. Like that's kind of my thing. That and like 80s college rock or like indie rock, and 90s like whatever not just grunge, but like just rock in general, alternative, I guess. That's my thing. So, but I was just reminded how unique like bands used to be from one another, and these were radio. And it was I think it was just a weird period, right? Like, it was just a weird period where, like, bands like that were all over the radio.
I'm not sure about the uniqueness.
Okay.
So, in the 90s and the grunge era,
yeah,
I feel like, particularly the grunge movement, we'll focus on that.
Sure.
There were like 3 bands.
Well,
and like there are 2 to 3 main bands.
Okay.
And then all the other bands are trying to sound like those 2 to 3 main bands.
So those main bands would be, there's Pearl Jam,
Nirvana,
Soundgarden.
Yeah, probably Soundgarden.
And I mean, and Alice in Chains would be in there.
Okay.
Which all of those four are all pretty different. I mean, there's some similarities between them, but they're
it's
all
four distinct bands.
Yeah, and then
with different sounds,
and a little bit. I mean, and then you get Smashing Pumpkins, which are very different than all of those too. But yeah,
I separate them out though. They're I like if we're focusing specifically on the grunge era,
Seattle.
I don't throw Smashing Pumpkins in there because they're way far away from everything else.
That's true, and they're
in the world,
right? And they're a Chicago band too, so they're not. You can't put them all in Seattle. Mm-hmm. So,
and then Billy Corgan lost his mind.
Well, yeah, these things happen. It is sad to think, though. Okay, so let's make your point first, though. Like, there were a lot of bands that copied all of those bands.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Absolutely.
I think, because I've had this conversation, the 90s felt like it was all one-hit wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were just... I mean, obviously there are big bands, like the ones we just mentioned.
Right.
But more than any other decade, except for maybe like the 50s, where, none of these
singles.
bands...
Yeah,
it was just singles. A majority of 90s radio hits you hear feel like it's a band you never heard of again.
No, you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that.
And I think it's because they were all trying to sound fairly similar, and then they did their song, and then another band that kind of sounded like them came on with their song and took over.
And I've thought about this a lot. I think the easiest sound to copy out of those four is probably the Pearl Jam sound.
Yeah.
Because it got copied a lot. I mean...
and I blame Pearl Jam for the post-grunge movement.
Right.
Because all of the creeds in the world were trying to sound like Pearl Jam.
Right. Like... Right. Like... And then the people who kind of sounded like Nirvana came slightly later, I feel like, maybe, but... I don't know.
Yeah.
Nirvana was hard, though, because they were... I don't know. They were doing their... I don't know. He was such a unique voice, I guess. And Alice in Chains is unique too because they've got that like double vocal droney thing a lot. I don't know. Not everyone could pull that off. Certainly other people tried. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah.
So going back to Billy Corgan.
Okay. Let's circle back. Yeah.
So, before the election, I don't think we ever talked about this on the show.
I don't think so.
Before the election, everyone on the various social media accounts talking about people canceling people,
right,
were very upset and offended and wanted to cancel Johnny Rotten because Johnny Rotten was wearing a Make America Great Again hat.
Oh, okay.
Which leads me to my question. Do these people not know who Johnny Rotten of the Sex Pistols is?
I'm guessing they don't.
It's a band that wore swastikas.
Yeah, right.
Just to get reactions from people.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, not a Donald Trump fan.
Oh,
obviously,
I cannot imagine him being one. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about me. I don't care about him.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine seeing pictures of him in the 70s where he has drawn a swastika on a T-shirt.
Right.
Then seeing a picture of old man Johnny Rotten in a Make America Great Again hat and going, well, that crosses the line.
Right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, he is one of those humans who exists to provoke. You know what I mean? Like, and more power to him. I love him for it. You know, it's it's great. But yeah, I mean, if you take that seriously, I think you're missing the point.
Well, even if he does, who cares?
Yeah.
Is it really going to ruin your opinion of a 70s punk band that put out one album and really was the punk equivalent of a boy band?
Yeah. You know what? That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
I like them, but the artistic integrity there is questionable.
I mean, let's not take it away from the Sex Pistols, but I mean, my favorite punk band of the OG original punk bands, right, is easily The Clash. The Clash is my favorite.
Yeah.
The Ramones are probably my second favorite.
And it would be much more shocking to see a member of The Clash.
Oh my God, yeah.
supporting Donald Trump. But
right.
I mean, Johnny Rotten and the Sex Pistols in general were the punk equivalent of Tekashi 6ix9ine. Just there to annoy everyone.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And you know, the everything was tongue in cheek with them. Whereas with the Clash, and this isn't necessarily why I like the Clash, but the Clash were very honest. They were very sincere.
Yeah.
In everything they did, and they were pretty upfront with their politics. You know.
Oh yeah. My proudest moment as a father has been getting my child to want to listen to the Clash.
Nice.
Specifically, he will walk up and ask if he can listen to Trouble Double.
Nice.
Like that's fantastic. It's my favorite moment.
Good child. Good boy.
I'm training him well.
You really are. Tommy Gun does it for me every time. That song just grabs me by the neck. Mm-hmm. That's a great one. So,
musically, at this point.
Yeah.
Because of their various affiliations, we've canceled Kanye West.
Okay.
Like, people have canceled Kanye West, right?
Including Kim.
Yeah. We have canceled Johnny Rotten now.
I guess. Okay.
Is Morrissey still okay? Because he shouldn't be okay.
Well, no,
right?
He said some shit, and he said some shit he shouldn't have said.
A lot.
A lot. I haven't
frequently.
Yeah.
It's very racially motivated.
It's so disappointing. Because I'm such a fan. It's so disappointing, but because I love the Smiths. I actually met a guy recently who was on the road with Morrissey for several years.
Oh, that sounds unbearable.
Well, I mean, he didn't dispel any rumors about him being difficult, but you know, I think overall it was a pretty cool experience. So
I'm sure it was, but at the same time, if I had a list of celebrities, that if I was offered 5 minutes to hang out with them, I would say hard pass. Morrissey's on that list. I don't feel like it would be a pleasant encounter.
I don't know. Yeah, see, for me, that's a tough one because it's like one of my musical heroes. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, like, but you'd hate him when you were done.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. They really say, like, don't meet your heroes, and I think that's true because we put people on a pedestal, and then if you actually meet them, you know, it could ruin it for you. And I don't want to have to think about a bad experience I had with Morrissey every time I listen to the Smiths. You know,
it would be there's like a 50-50 shot on either he rants at me about veganism or rants at me about immigrants. Like, it's 50-50.
Right.
The third option is probably happening.
Yeah, the third option being the royal family, because he hates them.
Yeah, that's true. That would actually be the best option, because he could rant about the royal family and I'd just go, oh, okay, because I don't know who any of them are.
Yeah, I mean, he probably has a point, about that. I'm assuming.
I don't know.
About immigrants, no, I don't want to hear it, buddy. No thanks.
It would be an unpleasant encounter.
Yeah, it's true.
He's my litmus test here for what the conservatives are calling cancel culture all the time.
Yeah, they do like to say that.
Because everyone knows Morrissey has made great music.
Yeah, absolutely.
If people are really going around and canceling people for just being jerks, because really that would be what this would be, Morrissey will be the first to go. So if he goes, then Sean Hannity's of the world can start ranting about how people are being canceled unjustly.
Right.
But until that day, it mostly has been people like Harvey Weinstein, and we're okay with that.
Oh, we're absolutely
everyone's
okay
fine with that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah, what an asshole. What a horrible guy.
There's one person somewhere who still has the balls to defend him. That's just like, well, it could have been worse. He could have done worse things. Could he have?
I guess. I mean, compared to what?
He didn't murder anyone?
Yeah.
Kudos to him. But
right.
There's one person out there that still would defend him no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. Another person who has been canceled, and rightfully so, is Charlie Rose. I
never even heard what happened with Charlie Rose.
I didn't either, really. I just know. I think he was coming on to women all the time and that sort of thing, And I don't know exactly what happened, but it's a bummer because great interviews, Like I have been known to go back. Even this week, I went back and watched interviews he did in the past with like David Bowie and different people like that. So, and he's fucking phenomenal at it. He's great. He's great at interviewing people.
This is going to be shocking to you, but I have never watched 1 second of a Charlie Rose interview. I don't even know who he interviewed.
Okay, he basically interviewed everybody. So, like, and most of it's cultural stuff, most of it's musicians and filmmakers, and some of it's political stuff. But I think he tended to focus on arts and culture more. But yeah,
they should have just replaced him with Terry Gross.
Well, she's amazing too. I mean, she's right there. Like, they're both, in terms of interviewing, I would say they're like neck and neck with each other. But in terms of being good people, Terry Gross wins yet again.
So kick Charlie Rose out, put Terry Gross on TV. And then the 18 people who watch PBS can see her interviews.
One of the best, you'll appreciate this, and I might have mentioned it before, but one of the best interviews I ever heard was Terry Gross and Mark Maron. She interviewed him, and then he interviewed her. Oh, yeah.
I heard that one, yeah.
Fantastic. Really good.
See, Mark Maron could take that show over, too.
Actually, yeah, he'd be great. He could do a great job. The issue is he'd have to censor himself, and he probably couldn't ask as many drug questions as he likes to ask. Right.
But he could run that show.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would love to see something like that. I don't know what it is about people who are great at interviewing, but I really appreciate them. I don't know what it is.
It's a special skill.
It is.
Because, like, I feel like I could do a really good interview with a person I was very interested in.
Right. Yeah.
And only in that situation. They somehow can do it with everyone, and they can't be interested in everyone.
No, definitely not.
I mean, Terry Gross has interviewed 8 billion people.
Yeah.
She has interviewed more people than there are on the earth at this point.
and read all of their books.
Yeah. Yeah. And somehow pretends to care about them every single time. And there's at least one where she went, is this interview almost over? I'm done talking to this person. They're very boring.
You gotta, if you've never heard it, and this is for the listeners too, you gotta hear Don Rickles on Fresh Air with Terry Gross. Because, he's talking, he's just, because she's Jewish, he's Jewish, and he's just kind of giving her the rundown like a tip, like her grandfather or something.
That would be a good one.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's so good.
Maybe that's what we need to do. We just need to have long-form interview shows.
I'd be interested in that. I mean, there are people I want to interview. I have questions.
Who's the first person on your list?
Oh, jeez. You know what I was thinking the other day? I was thinking it might be fun talking about these one-hit wonder 90s bands. Like, there are several of them that I have a certain affinity for. I was like, man, I bet no one's interviewing, like, the guy from Marcy Playground.
No one is. I can guarantee that.
I would like to talk to John Wozniak, because I've heard several of his records, and I like his records, and I know everyone knows Sex and Candy, and that's where it begins and ends, but, like, there's a lot more there. And, I don't know. I would like to talk to those kinds of people.
Just the people who almost were huge?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that would be a lot more interesting than the people who are huge.
Right? Right? Because there's a story there.
The people who got a taste and then had to go back to being normal people.
Exactly.
Instead of the Jennifer Lopez's of the world who, buy $2,000 eye cream. I don't know if that's a thing, but I assume it's a thing.
Like sleep in a vat of milk or whatever. I don't know what she
that's
does.
That's
the one.
Yeah, she has a hot tub of whole milk that she actually sits in for 2 hours a night. And that's how she stays young.
The fountain of youth, everybody. Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife. Ugh. Gross.